I just couldn't focus on it because it just, I don't know. It felt second rate in a first rate gore story type film.
Yeah, I could see that. It didn't bother me as much. I could kind of see that was happening, but the visuals and the tone and all the neon lights and the 16 millimeter cinematography, again, it's shot on film and it looks amazing. A lot of those 360 shots, like spinning the camera in place, especially that sex scene where we're just going upside down and around. It's just really had me kind of enraptured in this sensory experience more than, I can see the problem with the scripts.
The sensory experience, though, that's a great, that's a perfect, like, summary. It's a sensory blasting experience, I would say. Mm. It's not for the faint of heart. And how many horror movies have you watched where you go, ooh? Does that make sense? You see something so gory that you just go, wow.
Yeah, I can't get Jeremy Garner's death out of my head, like when he just rips his head. Sorry, spoilers.
Yeah, but that's when have you said that? Have you had that reaction anytime recently? Maybe Green Room did it to me. Blue Ruin did it to me.
Yeah, Climax did it to me. A little bit of Dr. Sleep. Like there's one scene in Dr. Sleep that did it to me.
Oh no. Will this hurt?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Pain makes it taste better.
Oh, goodness gracious. When we get to that movie, I'll tell you about a good conversation I had with someone that kind of summed up my feelings for it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, but Bliss, it's worth watching. I don't know. It was I just couldn't stand the F-bomb. Like, you could have taken that out. You could have taken out 300 of them easily.
Look, they're shooting on film. You only have so many takes.
Oh, wow, you're right. As you as a director, you're a director, I'm not, but would you want to have that many would you want that in your film?
I mean, I don't write that way, but I do also make a kind of improv-y atmosphere on my sets. So I'll let the actors say it in whatever way they feel comfortable doing. I might do a rehearsal first and see just how many F-bombs are in it and just see what feels natural. It's really about seeing what feels natural, and if it doesn't feel natural that there's that many F-bombs, maybe it does to that character, or maybe it did to that filmmaker. I don't know.
Now, to be fair, I was watching Reservoir Dogs when I was 12, and I remember going, the swearing in this movie is next level. So maybe it's just me having a reaction. So I watch movies with so much gore and viscera and explosions, and I don't mind it, but 7,000 F-bombs bother me. So maybe it's just my hang-up.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Don't take it out on these poor filmmakers.
You know what? Number one on the list, Bliss.
With a bullet.
Yeah.
All right. Silver bullet.
This is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week. All right, top 10, Zach. This is big. Number 10, The Dead Don't Die. Jim Jarmusch.
Yes. I need to defend this movie a little bit from the kind of vitriol I'm seeing from it. I get a lot of the criticisms about it. I get that it feels like, at times, an old filmmaker trying to do something that younger filmmakers have already been doing for many years, which is make a play on the zombie genre. And maybe he's not as successful as an Edgar Wright or the Zack Snyders of the world, I think it's much better than Zombieland. But I think that Jarmusch is smarter than this, and I think he knows more about the zombie genre than we might think he does. And I think the unoriginality of its central metaphor is played out by the character. So I guess I could talk about what it is. It's a small town that is in the beginnings of a zombie apocalypse, as there's some global crisis vaguely happening on the news, and everyone is rather Jim Jarmusch about it.
You know what kind of boggles my mind is, I'm going to go off on a tangent, but when Only God Forgives came out, people were just dogpiling on it because it wasn't Drive. But I kind of went, haven't you guys have seen Nicholas Winding Refn movies before? This is a Nicholas Winding Refn. This is no different than Valhalla Rises. Or, this is on par for him. It just wasn't Drive. But this movie, I think they marketed it as this starring Adam Driver and that, I know her name, from Spring Breakers. Who's the one from Spring?
Selena Gomez.
Selena Gomez. And so people probably went to this movie not knowing about Only Lovers Left Alive or Coffee and Cigarettes or Broken Flowers and a dead man, knowing about his very droll, very patient, very oddball sense of storytelling. So while I was watching it, I adored every second because I knew what I was getting into. A lot of people who watched it were expecting something like a Dawn of the Dead remake. And that's the exact opposite of what they got. So I guess I can see how their expectations hurt them.
On the other end, a lot of people are thinking like, oh, it's Jarmusch. He's going to kind of reinvent this zombie genre. He's going to do something political, or he's going to do something like Only Lovers Left Alive did with the vampire genre, which it kind of refreshed it. And I don't think that's the point he's trying to make. I think he's making the point that this is tired and we're still seeing it and dealing with it. And everyone who is interacting with the zombies, there's no scene in which they go, oh, what is this? Why? It's not like Resident Evil where it takes them, half the movie to realize you got to shoot him in the head.
Yeah. They know.
Everyone knows, I think it's zombies, ghouls. Yeah, and the reaction is apathy and apathetic acceptance. And I think what he is doing is exploring this genre, or he's exploring the culture through the genre that's trapped in its own mechanisms, where everyone knows what's happening and we still are just letting it happen because that's part of it. And we can, with like the Tilda Swinton character, ascend to something higher, ascend to something new and complete and different.
Watching her drive around in that tiny car made me so happy.
Watching Tilda Swinton do most things just makes me happy.
Yeah,
but shout out to the funniest thing in the movie, which is phrase on Steve Buscemi's hat.
Oh, make America white again?
No. It's even funnier. It's keep America white again.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
It makes no sense. The more you look at it, it's like the perfect Jarmusch joke. It's like, oh, that's funny. Oh, no, that's really funny. Oh, no, that's really funny.
What? You didn't read the script? Yeah, he sent me the whole script. Just watching Bill Murray and Adam Driver quibble.
Also, everything Adam Driver says in this movie is gold.
And the song that they played over and over. I love Danny Glover and the Squirrely Kid from War on Everyone and Three Billboards. I like their story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just it's a Jim Jarmusch picture.
Yeah, and he has a point. He has a purpose for doing this unoriginal thing with the genre, because he's making a point about that unoriginality and those kind of mechanisms.
You're the Jim Jarmusch of this podcast. I'm like I'm the Neil Marshall. I just make blood explode, and you get in depth and study these things.
It's passive research. Oh, that's what's on? Oh, good.
I love that movie, though. I mean, I'm very happy it cracked the top 10, and I'll stick up for it. I love that movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 9. Now, this is my fault that this movie's here, so if you're going to be angry about it, be angry at me, because Zach rated this very highly. It's Us, number 9, directed by Jordan Peele. I showed this movie to my students the other day. And
it's you.
Oh, brother. Red? So I showed this to my students the other day, and they told me to shut up because I just kept pointing out all the great things about the production design and the ideas within it and the way that the actors held themselves and the foreshadowing. And they're like, Mark, shut up. So I like this movie as a horror movie. I like the gore. I like how mean it gets. I think the production design is brilliant. I love the open windows of the house. That creates a lot of tension. I think it's really well made. I guess just for me, you know how my brain works, Zach. I just kept wondering about where they got the scissors. And that's not important.
Yes.
That's not important. It's about...
And the red jumpsuits.
Yeah, it's about... And, you know, I understand the insanity of that. And even though I own the movie. I bought the movie. I just watch it and I'm like, who ordered this? It's just, I can't... much like the F-bombs in Bliss, it takes me out of the experience a little bit. But you're much more eloquent when speaking about Us, so I'll let you do it.
I get exactly where you're coming from, because I do think at the very end in that monologue that's kind of explaining things, it explains one too many things and then not enough things. Like it shows you a little bit too much like firmly planted logic to point out how illogical it is.
Yeah.
So if it just would have reined that in a little bit, or didn't even cut to what she was talking about, you just heard it story-like, I think there would be people with a lot less problems with it. And I understand the problems, so I basically whenever I go into this movie, I'm looking at it more as a kind of allegorical object as opposed to a literal, like, this is what's literally happening, even though it makes it pretty literal by the end. So that I do think is a flaw in the film. However, it has some of the most unsettling horror I've seen this year, especially anytime Lupita Nyong'o talks as Red.
Oh, gosh.
Is just bone-chilling to me. And the way Jordan Peele uses the doppelganger subgenre and the doppelganger narratives that we've seen in Twilight Zone episodes from the past and other films is he is making some kind of statement. He is showing what I think I said after the movie, when it's that the other is you and you are the other. And so when you look at that through that lens, and especially when you know the twist at the end, sorry, there's a twist. Also, you should have seen Us by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find it much more interesting to look at it as that kind of, okay, why is it doing, why do they have to wear red jumpsuits and have scissors? Oh, well, the scissors are, and Jordan Peele has said this in interviews, they are tethered together. Mm-hmm. They're, two similar shapes tethered together. So one moves, the other moves too. Like, okay, well, where'd they get it? Well, it's not as important to me where they got it as that they have, and that's the object they have.
I hunted down everything he had to say about this movie, and he kept saying, well, I just can't tell you things. And I'm like, no, tell me things. I like some ambiguity, and I like, I love, the ending of Take Shelter. I think that's brilliant. I love not knowing what was said in Lost in Translation. It's just, where'd they get the scissors? Where'd they get the dish drying material? Like, where's the sanitizer? Where'd they get rid of the bunnies?
But yeah, why tell me so literally that they're down there doing the exact same things we're doing without any of our materials, and then show us that they have these materials? That I think is the big flaw in the ending of the film. But for me, it doesn't ruin the rest of it.
I mean, from a storytelling technique, the kids give great performances in this movie. Lupita crushes it. So
yeah, and I'm so happy she's getting some awards recognition for that now with the SAG nomination.
And the New York critics gave her the win too.
Yes,
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what us Georgia Film Critics Association put forward.
Do it. Give it to her.
No, man, I'm going Tilda Swinton, Dead Don't Die.
Oh, well, that's supporting actress. So.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
How about best actress and supporting actress for Lupita Nyong'o?
For what? This movie?
For Us.
I thought you were going to say Little Monsters, the zombie picture with her in it, the Australian zombie picture.
I did not get to see it, but I think, did you get around to seeing that before this?
I got 15 minutes in because I was trying to finish the one Stories to Tell in the Dark. Don't be afraid of the dark. Wait, the movie Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. That took me longer to finish than I expected. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean it looked fun. I also watched Anna and the Apocalypse the other day, and it lost my attention span. But there's a really great song about Santa.
Nice.
That I can send to you. All right, let's get to number 8. It's Ready or Not.
All right.
Directed by Tyler Jeanette, Matt Bettinelli. Now.
Wait. Sorry, someone's coming by. I have to be quiet for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, they walked by.
Okay. Just give me 5 seconds.
I'm hiding in the dumbwaiter.
Nice. Oh man, I thought you were, I thought you were at school and you're like, someone's coming by. Oh man, you got me. That was good.
You
well
set
played.
this up.
Well played. I don't even remember what I set up earlier. That was brilliant. How your Converse doing?
They're a little covered in pig drippings and rotting flesh, but other than that, I have a big scratch on my back.
Oh man! Now, that was what 27 or 35 different dresses, and they were all color coded, and each part of the dress they built as for her to go to war, to rip off things, to tie up things, to do this, do that. Did you know that? Obviously, you knew there was more than one dress, but they designed it specifically for the screenplay.
Wait, it wasn't just shot one night?
Yeah. They actually shot they shot on location, and they couldn't get any blood on the floor.